Today, April 29th, officially marks President Trump's 100th day in office. And as you probably have heard, the White House actually started celebrating this week on Monday all the accomplishment of the second Trump administration. And they're going to continue celebrating all through the week. And why is this important? Well, historically, a president's first 100 days in office, or in this case, back in office, but that first 100 days acts as a marker. It's a marker to determine how successful, how effective that president has been, and it sets the pace for how successful we can anticipate that president being. So as we look at these 100 days, it's a significant milestone, and the question, how successful has President Trump fared so far in his second term? And what can we expect in the next 100 days? Well, here to discuss this is Matt Carpenter. He's the director for FRC Action. Matt, welcome back to Washington Watch. Great to have you.
Thanks for having me, Jody.
All righty. The 100th day is finally here. I know you and I and a host of others, we've been working through this 100 days from the very beginning. It's hard to believe it's already here, but how has President Trump performed with his commitments so far?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a barnstorm of a first 100 days. Certainly a brisk pace for sure. Jody, we took shortly after the election, we took the task to ourselves to go back and look through all the public statements, all the campaign rallies, some of the very policy-oriented videos that the Trump campaign put out. All the specific ones. The president was famous for his "Make America Great Again," "Make America Safe Again." Some of those taglines we haven't included those. Those are a little bit more on the subjective side. It's tough to measure some of those, open to interpretation, let's say. But we identified 52 specific statements. On day one, I'll do this. You know, my Department of Justice will do that. Things that we thought we could credibly post online, and then check off as the administration took action on those proposals. And so far, I think about 140 executive orders later, he's addressed all but 16 of them, Jody. A number of them are partially completed. Some of them, like onshoring, critical medicines, for example, are ongoing. You hear it almost daily. Investments some of these pharmaceutical companies are making in producing needed medicines here in America, and so we're still tracking this, but for sure it's been a very successful, by the metrics they've laid out on the campaign, first 100 days for the Trump administration.
Yeah, it's been amazing. In fact, I have the website up here. For those of you who may want to go check this out, Matt and his team did a spectacular job. You can find it at frcaction.org/Trump Tracker, frcaction.org/Trump Tracker. The promise is made, the promise is kept, where it all stands. So, Matt, what major takeaways can we draw, takeaways that you draw from this first 100 days so far?
I think really out of the gate, the president took initiative to address the major concerns of the American people, the issues that were center to the electorate at large, things like immigration, securing the border. We saw in the previous administration threw open the southern border and basically did everything they could to just inject the country full of non-citizens. That's been, all illegal border crossings are basically plummeted to zero at this point, and the president's deportation plans are still ongoing. Addressing the cost of living crisis, we had historic inflation under the Biden-Harris administration. The Trump administration has, he's directed the entire federal government, the entire executive branch, to look for ways to address the cost of living crisis. They've identified energy policy as one of the kind of underpinning areas where they think that they can bring down the cost of goods. And so they've done a lot, getting out of the Paris Climate Accords, going after the Obama-era Clean Power Plan rule, to make energy more affordable. And they've also done things kind of aspirational. And you almost kind of wonder, is President Trump having a little fun here with our neighbor to the north in Canada, talking about annexing Canada? But maybe more seriously, looking at Greenland, renaming the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. So he's got his eye on the history books, I think, with the first 100 days here. But he's not neglected some of the commitments he's made to the more socially conservative elements of the Republican Party. He's reinstated the Mexico City policy. He's overturned the Department of Defense's policy to reimburse for travel related to performing abortions, which was a huge one, something that FRC Action was engaged in during the Biden-Harris administration, supporting Senator Tuberville's stand there. You'll remember that, Jody?
Oh, yeah.
And then also enforcing the Hyde Amendment, just huge policy wins.
Well, it's absolutely incredible, like you said. And, this is not necessarily a big deal, so we don't need to go into it. But have you, by chance, had any opportunity to kind of compare the first 100 days of this Trump administration versus the first 100 days of Biden?
I did, Jody. I went back and looked, and I hate to bring us all back to the COVID era, but the major focus of the Biden administration those first 100 days were things like mask mandates and vaccine mandates and just folding the LGBT agenda into every nook and cranny of the federal government and promoting so-called gender-affirming care to minors and throwing open the southern border as well. So it's just been, the Trump administration is almost like an immune reaction to the to the cancers of the Biden-Harris administration in some ways. It's just this reaction, this 180 from those policies, and a pure repudiation from the American people.
Less than a minute to go here, Matt. Real quickly, what do you anticipate in the next 100 days?
Yeah, I think you and Congressman McDowell covered this well. I think the focus is going to be a lot on this big, beautiful bill, the reconciliation bill. As I understand, there'll be tax reform elements. There'll be some elements related to border enforcement. The president's immigration plans as well will be included there. And then I anticipate there'll be some national defense spending as well. And then we'll probably pivot into posturing for the midterms. That's coming up. We're not even halfway through 2025, and already 2026 is underway.
Unbelievable. Matt Carpenter, Director of FRC Action, thank you so much. A job well done to you and all of your team. Just high five all of them for me. Thank you. And thank you for joining us on Washington Watch.
Thanks, Jody. Great to be with you.